Hey everybody, welcome back for, I guess this is part 2 on this Honda ST90 that I put the TB parts big bore kit, piston and cylinder in. And in the first video I misspoke and I said it was 138cc. I actually believe this is supposed to put it at 141cc. Now in the first video, you saw me start it a couple times and I actually took it for a little ride up and down the street. I'm a couple days later down the road now, and I have started it and gone through some heat cycles, let it heat up, cool down a few times, but I have not ridden it. It currently has 3,183 miles. Boy, my watch is so tore up. That's August 6th, Tuesday, August 6th, I think is what it is today. So I'm gonna keep track of how many miles I put on it between now and September 19th when I head out to West Virginia. So 3,183 miles. So I'm gonna take it for about a 30 or 40 mile ride today and just kind of see how it goes. And I've actually made a little note right here for myself so I can keep track of how many miles are on it. Well guys, we're about right at the first 20 miles in. 3203, so we put 20 miles. It seems to be doing just fine. I don't see it puking out anything. I did take tappet covers off and made sure that oil was pumping to the top end during one of the heat cycles. I want to make sure that we were getting oil. Everything looks good. I haven't really wound it out yet. It might feel a little but I'm not sure I'm going to gain a whole lot in, top speed, top end. I was hoping to gain 5 or 6 mile an hour, and as of right now, that may be the case, but I'm not 100% sure. But all right, I'm going to continue on back to the shop. I'm going to call that a very successful first ride. I did 34.5 miles, and everything seems to be just fine. No odd noises or no leaks. It ran very well. As of right now, the jury's still out on whether or not it added any performance. I did go ahead and get it up to about 50 in a stretch, and it did seem like it got to 50 maybe a little quicker than the 125 did, but I don't know that there's a whole lot more. It might hit 60 if I'm lucky, but that's okay. It was fun to do it, fun to learn how to do it. I was hoping it might get me, push me. It might ride 60 without being maxed out, but I don't think that's the case. Maybe as it breaks in, maybe something will happen. As you saw, I've got a box here that has a Nibby 24 millimeter carburetor in it. This is the 22 millimeter Nibby that was on the engine when it was 125cc. I mean, it runs fantastic, but we're going to do some testing to see if there's any difference going from that down to the 24 or up to the 24. I'll do a little bit of testing. So, like I said, very successful first ride. I didn't really show any of this. I worked yesterday afternoon and this morning and have put a rack on the back of the bike. It's an old CT90 rack that I had, and obviously I wanted to make it so I could remove it when I'm done. So I got to take it off and clean up my welds, and because I got a real goobery weld right there. That looks bad, but I'll clean all that up, paint all this black, but I can unbolt it. A couple spots here, a couple spots on the fender, and then I actually brought a couple braces down to the license plate bracket too. So, and I'll take this all off and paint it all black and hopefully make it look a little bit better. But that'll allow me to carry, a luggage bag and a few tools. And I'm actually going to put an auxiliary tank back here too. This only has a plastic CT70 K0 tank in it, so I can only go maybe about 40 miles. I did not have to put any extra fuel in it today, and like I said, we went 34 and a half miles, and there's still fuel in it. So I think somewhere around maybe 45 miles is its max. So I've got to cover nearly 1,000 miles on this trip. So we're going to need some more capacity. So I've got a 1.5 gallon tank. It's like a 6-inch diameter by, I think it's exactly 15 inches wide. I think it's exactly the same width as this rack. And I'll mount that and then run a hose up to the front. And I'll probably run it off of this tank and have that tank full and use it as a reserve in case something happens. But that, I'm not anticipating any problems there. So, all right, I'm gonna wrap this up. This video will keep progressing as I keep putting miles on this and getting it ready to head to West Virginia around September 19th. Well, as you might be able to see, I'm sitting on the side of the road. Everything was going good. And then I felt the back end start getting a little squirrely. Engine's running fine. No issues at all. But I got a flat tire. Daggone it. I didn't bring anything to fix a flat tire or to air a tire up. Well, Brock, you're gonna get a phone call. Well, after having to make the call of shame and have my daughter come pick me up, I'm back at the shop. Let's pull this off of here and see if we can't figure out why in the world it went flat. Let's see. Can I get that off of there without having to take the brakes completely off? Yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna grab a couple tools here, and let's take the tube out and see what we find. So before I pull it off of here, I was looking to see if I ran over anything. I don't see anything. So it must have been the tube was pinched or something, and it finally gave way. Looks like a fairly new tube. Does look like maybe it was kind of balled up or kinked in a couple spots. Not really sure. I'm not seeing any huge gaping holes. I'm gonna go throw some air in it and we'll see if we can figure out where the hole is. So we've got a hole right here, one of those. It's actually that one. But look at this tube, how it's kind of got, look at that. It must have been twisted. I did not put these tubes in these tires. These tubes and tires have been on this bike since the day I got it. But it looks like whoever installed this particular tube must have gotten it twisted or something. Look how oddly shaped that thing is. Got this big bulge right here. So after seeing the shape of the that tube. I'm not going to change my mind. I'm not going to take this this tire all the way off. I don't think there's any issues inside the tire. I think it was just that the tube was not installed correctly. If we can get the valve stem in the hole. This is just an old tube that I had on the shelf, and it was sitting over there holding air. So we're going to hope that it's good, and I'll go ahead and buy a couple more new tubes before I take off for West Virginia. Probably didn't see it, didn't show up in the video, but that was an extremely busy road. I was probably 20 miles from my shop, probably 15 miles still from the kids' shop, and probably a good 3 miles from the nearest fuel stop, gas station, to where I could have maybe gotten air. Not that it would have helped me. All right, let's throw some air into that, see what happens. Good. I'm going to check the pressure on that, adjust, and then we will head back to Indianapolis again. What the heck? See if it happens. Can't have 2 flat tires in one day, can we? Well, guys, it is 10:12 in the morning, and we're off for take number 2. I swapped that tube. It seems to be holding air. I've got an air compressor and some slime in there this time, along with the tool kit that I had before. So hopefully it's going to take about an hour. So hopefully at about 11:15, 11:20, you guys, the next time I see you, I'll be in Indianapolis. Not going to film the rest of the way there, up there, but I'll see you in a bit. Well, I was making pretty good time until we got caught by this train. It's 11:04. I still should get to the kids' shop about, well, depending on how long this takes, 11:15, 11:20. Bike's running great. We are 91 miles on this big 4 swap. Well, take number 2 was very successful. It is 11:14 and I've made it to the kids' shop, my son's shop. Bike is running fantastic. no flat tires. So now I got to jump on a mower and mow some grass. Well, I've got the grass all mowed. It is time to head back to the house. We'll see how the little bike does. What time is it? It is 12:56. So I will see you guys when I get back down to Martinsville, Indiana. Whew, what a trip today, fellas. As you can see, I am back here at the shop. Let's see how many miles have we done. So we did 120, 130. I think we've done around 130 miles on this top end swap. So far, so good. My first impressions of it, you know, without changing a whole lot of other stuff, exhaust, carburetor, and so forth, just doing the swap, I don't see any difference at all. It's no faster, no slower than the 125 stock was. So I'm going to continue to play with carb and maybe throw a different exhaust on it. You know, the thing is, I like the look of this exhaust, and it's quiet. I don't want to get a really loud, obnoxious exhaust just to gain a few miles an hour. So the thing hits 55 pretty easy, 56, and that's honestly, do I really need to go any faster than that? No. When we went on the Lake Michigan trip, we hit some 55-mile-an-hour roads. And, you know, people on a 55-mile-an-hour speed limit, they're going to go 65. So I was just trying to keep from getting run over a little bit. But honestly, pushing 60 on one of these, I don't know if I really want to go any faster than that or not. So I'm going to roll it inside, and we'll finish this video up. All right, guys, I'm going to call it quits on today's video. I really don't know when I'm going to get a chance to ride this bike again, and I kind of like to get this video out so that you can see it, give you my thoughts. So, you know, as I said when the bike was sitting outside, yeah, it runs great, rides great. You know, I spent $165 for that big bore kit. And so far, it hasn't gained me anything, well, let me back that up. It didn't gain any top end speed. With the Nibby 22 millimeter carb and the stock Zongshin 125cc engine, this bike ran around 55 mile an hour, 56 mile an hour back in April during the spring ride when I built this bike and rode it then. Today, after now we've put 130 some odd miles on this bike, I opened it up on the way home, and, you know, running the same carburetor, same exhaust, I still only hit 55, 56 mile an hour. But the thing I did feel like I had an advantage over the stock setup was I didn't lose anything on any kind of incline. Before, I felt like if I was going up any kind of little hill or anything like that, I'd have to downshift to third. With this, I was able to maintain fourth gear and maintain the speed I was going as long as the incline wasn't too steep. And so I did gain that. So it wasn't pointless to do it. And I'm going to be riding this bike to West Virginia, lots of hills. Maybe that's going to be the advantage I gain. I don't know. But as far as, you know, gaining more speed, you know, I didn't really gain that. Now, I know somebody's going to say, well, you got to change the carburetor, Mike. You got to put a big bore exhaust on it and this and that. And I get that. But, you know, cost effective, you know, you spend $165 on the kit. And now you got to spend $200 on an exhaust and another $50 on a carburetor. You know, maybe you should have just put a bigger engine in it to begin with. I don't know. I'm going to continue to tinker. I'm not done. It's only August 7th, and I don't head out until September 19th. So we've got a little time to play. We could tinker with the carb and doing some things like that. I might, you know, maybe I splurge on, I've never bought a big bore exhaust. Maybe I buy one just for the sake of doing testing in a video. I don't know. So we'll see. Guys, have a great day. If you're in or can be in West Virginia on September 21st, come bring your bike. Let's ride the divide with Ben. It's a tremendous ride. The scenery is just beautiful. So I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm really looking forward to riding this bike
all the way from Martinsville, Indiana to Cass, West Virginia and back. So I'm going to do almost 1,000 miles. So yeah, let's hope the bike makes it. See you guys. Have a great day.